Welcome back to another game of Go and Schwartzy Plays Go. We have a quick game today, and the name of today's game is Am I Winning? Are you winning? And that's an important thing to know during the course of a Go game. Are you ahead? Are you behind? Because it can affect sort of how you're playing the game, whether you get maybe a little more aggressive if you're behind and you need to make up some points, try and win some territory, or maybe you think you're winning and you can play a little more defensive, a couple extra conservative plays just so that a group doesn't get killed off and you don't lose some territory all of a sudden. You want to protect that lead. So that's the name of the game today, and we are playing kind of an intermediate level match here, up against 11Q opponent. I'm 12Q. This one's from a little while ago. And let's dive right into it. Black had the first move, obviously. And away we go. So the point of this game and what we're going to do is kind of pay attention to when we think we're winning and when we think we're behind, right? That's what we want to look at. Right off the bat, we did a nice job with the corners. Looks like we have this corner up here. We're certainly winning it over right now. We're set up in the upper right and the lower right. So, and actually we could jump into the 3-3 back in there too. So anyway, it seems right now that I think we have the advantage. And that's kind of what we're looking at. Just a high level, like, am I ahead in this game? We don't need to worry about the specifics of this match. Right there, we get a nice little kill. We've been stealing some territory, right? Seems pretty positive. And that was a nice conservative play. This one right here at B14. This group was a little bit precarious, totally unsettled. Same up here. There's still some cutting points, right? Up there, right there, right there, whatever it is. Or there, I should say, maybe. Regardless, that play right there just kind of sealed this up nice and tight. So we got the whole upper left-hand corner, and I just don't have to worry about that anymore. We have, I'd say, fully captured that. Black's done a good job down here with this retreat kind of coming down this way. It plays off this down here, and you can see he's maybe forming a wall there, and there's a good chance that he can block off quite a bit of that corner. So, but beyond that, I mean, Black doesn't have a whole lot. So that's, I don't know, maybe we're even right now. What do you think? That feels like a big play, even though there's still two big areas left on the board, right? This one right here, it does two things. You have this sort of framework starting down here, right? And you're pushing to the right, which is whatever. That's pretty typical. It's nothing crazy. That'd be like if I took my stone here and I jumped out a couple lines out here somewhere. I'm just pushing, expanding. But the second thing that this stone here, what it does is you can see I already kind of traced out that wall that Black has formed. Pretty strong position. There is a cutting point, but realistically, I'm not going to get there. And what this stone does is it creates a nice start of a wall, at least over here. So then with these two walls, you can see Black's probably going to try and capture everything in there. So that's actually a decent little chunk of territory if I can't get in there. So obviously quite a bit of space there I can get into. I could still potentially live down there in the bottom left if I jump into the 3-3. But Black has a potential to win a lot of space there. So we just got to keep an eye on that and how it unfolds. That reinforces Black's, I think, position down there. That's interesting. He just, or I should say she, ignored the upper and right-hand big moves and again focused on this. So they're kind of neglecting some space, but they're getting this 2-for-1 here. Like this one stone, like if I was to actually trace the outline of Black's territory prior to the stone, I don't know, it's something like that. Like realistically, that's what he has captured so far, I think is fair. But with this one play, you're jumping, you're filling in all of this. You're saying you want to capture that. There's potential that I can always sneak in there, right? But more or less with that stone, you've got like, I don't know, it's like 30 points or something in there, 20 points. That's a lot. So that's, I think, a really efficient play. So good on Black. So it's maybe a little deceiving because at a glance, you're like, at least a few moves ago, you're like, oh, White's in a better position. But now Black's way more concentrated and not as spread out as I am. But I think they're doing a pretty good job with capturing some space down there. So forging ahead, what do we got? Black links up. We're threatening up there. Nice little threaten up here with those last couple plays. Ooh, that might have been a misplay on my part. playing there. I feel like I should have played here at f16. I think if I had have played there, I'd get the kill, but there's a chance black can get out of here. Yep. Oof. Okay, that's a huge mistake up there. Not only am I going to lose these 2 stones, but this black group is going to survive, and I think that was a mistake. So, it is what it is, but noted for next time. Like I said, some of these games, this one in particular is from almost a year ago, so hopefully I've improved a little bit since then, but I think my ranking's worse, but I think I'm a better player. Anyway, we're getting sidetracked as we move ahead. So black won a few points up here. And by one, I mean kind of stole them from me. But the stronger position that black is playing, we already drew this wall out a couple times. We're kind of saying there's a wall forming down here, but it's loose. But black's upper wall here, this is extending all the way around now. Look at that. Because those 2 stones of mine, realistically, they're going to get killed off. And then he's still got this stone out here, which before it was kind of playing against this area, right? And capturing all that. But now we have this upper wall, and black's kind of playing against all that. So that 1 stone is kind of radiating outwards to fill in like a lot of this. A lot of that, if black ends up capturing that center portion of the board, it's because of this stone. So it feels like black is pulling ahead here. I think I was certainly ahead to start within the first like maybe 20 moves, 30 moves, or maybe less than that, like 20-ish. But if we just take a look at our territory, realistically, I think we'll get this. Actually, it's a little bigger. Extends a little bit out that way, but black can definitely push in up there. But this is also a nice little chunk up there. And we got the start of something down here. We'll probably get that. So that's okay. And there's still some big moves on the board. And then if you look at black's, though, like it's a little... It's deceiving. Like I said, if this stone wasn't here, this one's so important. Because if I was to get that position myself, then I could push into all that territory. But black's territory, whoops, back it up there and just draw black's territory real loosey-goosey. Yeah, probably straight down. I don't know, that's, yeah, it feels like maybe a shade more than what I have, but not necessarily a lot. It's not, there's huge chunks of the board here where black doesn't even exist yet, like the whole right-hand side of the board. So, yeah, and the trace mine. Like, if we come across there... Yeah, I'd say black has the advantage, but not by a lot. It feels like a pretty close game. Barring actually counting the points, which I never have time to do. I play pretty quick games that are like 30 seconds or 1 minute per move. I don't have time to count the actual points in a game. If I was playing a game that was going to be hours long, then sure, I might do that a couple times. But it's not something I've practiced much at all. All right, forging ahead. Black has... officially pushed into the right-hand side of the board. That's solid. This little seal up right here, that's great. Because now, like, if I can actually capture that, I'd say it needs 1 more play there at, like, R15 to really solidify this, keep it safe. But that's a pretty good chunk. However, it has come at the expense of another black wall forming. It's not, certainly not complete. But you can see, he's got that wall forming over there. He's got the pre-existing upper wall up here. He's kind of got one down here. With this 1 stone in the middle. Man, this 1 stone has kind of done me in this game. So that was a really well-positioned play. And that came early, too. That was a smart move. Well played, baby Finns. Well played, man. So the goal for me now, I think, especially with this wall forming, feels like I'm behind. I need to get in here. And not only get in, but like maybe get a group in there. However, it looks like my easiest route right now is just to kind of slide in through here. I could, though. I could throw in somewhere. I mean, I have these 2 here that I could play off of and ladder out this way. So play up here maybe, or here, or down here. Or I could even attach to this white stone. Something in there feels appropriate. Because there's pockets, right? We could certainly live up here. Whoops. It's pretty loose. We could live up there. We could live in here. Connect over to the bottom right. And then we could definitely potentially live in there, right? There's some cutting points that we can exploit to make our attack a little easier. Same up here. So I could live in there. But I think I'm going to have to take something in there, right? Black has sealed me up there. Good job. Again, there's a lot of cutting points, though. But Black's doing a pretty good job at keeping me out of the middle of the board. I did play one nice conservative safety play there, which honestly, I like that when a lot of my territory for this game hinges on this upper right-hand corner, and if Black were to throw in up there and take some of that away, that would be disastrous. Oh, there we go. So I had talked about two things. I had talked about maybe sneaking in this way. Black saw that, cut it off. And then I also talked about throwing in here, somewhere in this upper portion, and maybe playing off this group of two. And it looks like that's what's happening. So will it work? I don't know. It's playing out that way, not capturing a lot of space or eyes or territory or much of anything. But yeah, nice throw in there by Black. It's not looking good. This doesn't seem like I am going to get away with this. Yeah, no. And then I've abandoned ship and jumped down to the right. That's, excuse me, that's bad news, because if you jump in a space like this and try to win it and fail, then you've really solidified your opponent, because you've given them, I mean, your stones are dead, plus you've given them some extra stones in there for framework and whatnot. So the chances of me throwing in down here and living, or throwing in down here and living, seem pretty slim now. So it seems like I have fallen behind here. I was up ahead early in this upper left and got a couple easy little kills, but then there was the misplay up here, and then it's kind of fallen apart since then. So now it feels like I'm behind. I'm throwing into the bottom left-hand corner. Can we win it? Maybe. Yeah, we're gonna win something. Decent job by Black to defend, but at least I won some stones down there, right? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 point swing. Took 14 points away from my opponent and gave them to myself, because we're playing Chinese rules here. Every intersection matters. So that's legit. That's a 28 point swing. So that's nice. But if we just take a quick snapshot, there's not too many moves left. So just look at our territory. We've had this upper left-hand corner for a while. Nice little win over here on the upper right, which actually connects all the way down. Got the whole right-hand side of the board. That's nice. That actually feels pretty big. And of course, we got this little tiny one down here. It feels close still, right? Like when you draw it out, I think if I had not misplayed this group up here, or if I had won something in here, I think we would either be like almost even, or maybe even ahead a little bit. But it maybe looks a little deceiving again, because I have some white stones in here that are dead. Because if we outline Black's territory, it is pretty big, I imagine, right? All about here. He's basically got one big group, and that's it. Yeah, when you outline Black's, like that looks like more than half the board, right? Like my upper right is massive, but Black's done a really good job taking the center of the board. So the chances, if I need something in that middle, I think I need another like 10-point swing in there to capture something. We gave up a couple down there, sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is going to be end game type stuff now. Yeah, we're just tying up the edges. There we go. End of the game. We're not even quite 200 moves in. Pretty quick game. What do we got? Black by 14. That's pretty close, but that's a loss. That sucks, because early in the game, I'm just going to jump ahead here to like 20 moves in, because I was ahead for sure. A little further, because we got some wins as soon as we sealed that up before it started falling apart down here. So right here, we're 34 moves in. Let's estimate the score right now. White by 1.6. Okay, so that is pretty even, but the computer is giving Black this whole bottom corner, and meanwhile we did take some points down there, right? So that's it seems like I'm actually ahead at this point. We're 35 moves in, 36 moves in, and I have a pretty decent advantage. Not crazy, but I have the advantage, because I knew I could jump in here. Giving that to Black is pretty generous, I would say. So anyway, but this is where it started to fall apart, was right down there, because with the next couple plays, Black, that's a great play. I loved it. Then I took a big move up there. This one. This is the one that killed me. Move 37. This one set up the whole second half of the game, right? Where black had this wall, and he just kind of worked it all the way around. Just clockwise, away we go. And then that all ended up being black territory. Because even now, if we check the score like 4 moves later, white by 2.9. I don't know if I agree with that. Let's try it again. Yeah, 2.9. That's surprising. It is giving me these corners with 1 stone, but it just really worked out in black's favor, getting that stone in there and building off of that and just crushing from that left-hand corner position. You can kind of watch it unfold. It just works its way around, and then even here, at this point, I got to be behind. Black by 6.2. So, yeah, and I should have... You know what? If I hadn't have misplayed up here, maybe I could have won that game. But great play by black. That was a fun game. Interesting watching the importance of this one particular move, and keeping a close eye on who I thought was winning. Because originally, when I played this game, I thought I was winning this game by the end. I think because I started off on the right foot, I had the advantage to begin with, and then it just kind of slowly started slipping away. But even like I had some steals like down here, and I managed to keep this whole corner. So I think I had a sort of a false sense of success maybe in this one, but I didn't realize I was behind. And I probably could have played my jump into the middle maybe a little bit different, a little better as well. But anyway, the point of this is you should know, or at least try to understand, if you think you're ahead in the match or if you think you're behind. Because it really can impact how you play and how aggressive or defensive you want to get. So, fun match. We'll wrap it up there. Yeah, I don't know. These are fun, looking back at these old ones and seeing what I would do differently and catching mistakes like up here. It's good to know that I'm getting slightly better. That's encouraging. Anyway, we should wrap it up there. Thanks for watching. If you're learning the game of Go, or trying to get better like I am, feel free to subscribe. All we do is pump out lots of Go content. I'm going to do some more series in the future with some strategy-specific things instead of just these replays. I'll do some more live games too. I got a request for some live matches. So thanks for watching. If you stuck around this far or watched till the very end, let me know down in the comments, and I will give you a shout out in the next video. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go.